Welcome to Lucas Oil on the Edge. This week coming to you from Madison International Speedway in Wisconsin for some exciting train races and the Gauntlet. If you've never seen it, stick around. This might be the most exciting thing you've ever seen on the Edge.
Got it tacked up, and if you get too close, you're getting cracked up. Stone cold when I roll, coming out of the hole. Get back, cause I'm out of control. I'm on the edge.
All right, welcome to Lucas Oil on the Edge. Yep, they're dressing one up there. Ken Stout, Brian Olson. It's the train and gauntlet race here tonight, presented by General Tire. We're gonna have a good time. They got them tied up, Brian.
That's right, they chain them all together. They got a driver in the front, brakeman in the back, and oh, by the way, we got the gauntlet race tonight featuring that guy, Gary Oscarson.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are at Madison International Speedway, Lucas Oil on the Edge. It's the night of thrills, and tonight, two divisions of racing. First off, a 10-lap train race, then we'll move into the gauntlets, but the trains are pretty exciting to watch. This is how it works. You got three cars all chained together. The guy up front, he's working the gas and the steering. A guy in the caboose, he's working the brakes. Tonight, Gary Oscarson, the red, white, and blue machines, he doesn't have a brake man. It's going to be a great night of racing. 10 laps of trains, then the gauntlet comes out. A night of thrills here at MIS.
All right, thanks, Rob. Let's get started here with the train race. And as you can see, we'll have a nice full field here. Every one of those numbers, 3 vehicles attached to it.
Yeah, that's really weird because the 66 of Gary Oscarson, no brake man or woman in some cases here. I'm not really sure why. It's just kind of a weird scenario, though.
Yeah, the brakeman really a critical part of this. You know, when they get out of shape, they hammer the brakes, kind of straightens the train back out. So looks like they'll start them off with a little bit of space in between all of them. We're on board with Caterpillar Miller there and TJ Miller, the brakeman.
It's great to listen to it on board, man. Oh, they're all over the...
Whoa, where's he going?
Right into the
we
wall.
We didn't even start the race yet, did we? On board with our pole sitter right there. That's BB.
BB and Jarrett Kraft at the tail end. Here
Oh!
Oh, my man. He took the barrier with him.
Like Oscarson didn't have enough cameras set up there in the right front, man. That thing wouldn't turn left at all. Pushes hard right up into the wall.
Man, he took a lot of steam into that corner. And watch the barrier in the middle truck. Just takes it right along with him. Gary goes right up on the wall, and he is out of here.
Man, how about that,
as well.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's always a guy that's in it for the win. Battle for first place, Brian Beebe in the hunt right there with a 17 van and making some headway. Oh, but he's going to get some competition.
Brian Beebe, Jarrett Kraft. Now, Kraft is, once again, your brakeman at the back in the third car. Nobody in that middle car.
3 wide, baby, in the train race. Caterpillar Miller really having a tough time out here.
Oh, Caterpillar, who generally doesn't struggle with that big old 57 machine. Got a little bit crossed up right there, and now heads towards the guardrail. Actually got straightened up when he made contact. However, with that middle car, it's kind of tough to get yourself organized when you got so many cars pulling in opposite directions.
Yeah, and he doesn't have his middle car tied up tight. You take a look at the veterans, and that middle car does not move very much.
Again, that 17, that's the one to watch for out front. That's Brian Beebe once again in that DeWalt sponsored machine.
Beebe getting it done out there, man.
Hey, looks real good.
He's using that outside, trying to keep that momentum up. Of course, the shorter way around, down underneath, but it looks like he's got a huge lead going into the turn every time.
Goes right by Caterpillar Miller right there. And once again, as you mentioned, Ken, some of these things are not quite as tight, the middle car that is. You can actually see the wheels spinning here behind the 17. Meanwhile, take a look at the truck, which is running first and second right along with BB, and you'll see there are no front wheels, and it is tied up tight, as you mentioned earlier.
Oh, and there goes Jarrett Kraft, the brakeman. He's broke loose from the train. No more caboose for BB.
Didn't look like his brakes were working that well. He's
Or
got
a steering wheel.
He's out of here.
They might not have a steering wheel in the brake car.
Kraft said, I'm over this mess, BB. You've done enough to me. I'm out of here. Well, we got...
That's Lewiston right there, John Lewiston. And J.C. Cantrell with no right front.
And that is what's declared your new leader right there. That's right. Cantrell with no right front wheel at all. And that should be a bit critical when it comes to braking, I would guess.
That's not maximum grip right there, I don't think, when you're turning left, but it is a nice spark show.
It does look good for the fans, but it's not good for the brakes, and also it's taking a lot more for the truck to tow it around.
Look out now.
Here we go, the 43 jumping into that. Jim Rosenberg and Ryan Hall. Oh, they are mixing it up on the final lap, kid.
The 431 trying to hang on to that thing, not getting a whole lot of help from that minivan in the back. Now he's got it straightened out a little bit.
This may be too little too late because right there was the white flag. So only a half a lap to go. And we will declare a champion right here in the train race.
Rosenberger and Hall, after battling so hard with Beebe and Kraft, are going to come around with a checkered flag and get the win.
Snuck right up out of the middle of nowhere and did quite well right at the end. Did it when they needed to. Rosenberger and the one and only Ryan Hall, your champions. Here's the path for the lead, just prior to the white flag.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, man, that was pretty good action right there. It just came whipping in. You know, he was running the bottom line all night long, Rosenberger was, and really seemed to make it work for him.
Just think if you're the trail car, I mean, if you're the guy on the brakes on both those things and you're in minivans. Here's your final results.
Congratulations to Jim Rosenberger and company. Let's go down and talk to him.
Jim Rosenberger, hey, congratulations. Nice run for you. You guys were all over the track, but still it was pretty quick.
Yeah, well, you just kind of go with what you got, and I wasn't sure if we were going to keep all our cars chained together at the end there or not. It was looking kind of ugly there for a minute, but...
How about early? Oscarson went to the high line, looked like he was fast, and all of a sudden he's high-centered up there on the top shelf.
Well, I guess that's what you get when you don't have a brake man.
Oh.
That is definitely the top shelf, top wall. Come on back for the Gauntlet. On the Edge is brought to you by Lucas Oil Products, made in America, sold to the world. General Tire, unleash the fury. And by Madison International Speedway, Wisconsin's fastest half mile.
All right, guys, it's time to go gauntlet racing. Now, Ken, you remember that short bus you used to take to school when you were a little kid? This is it. Now, it's painted red, but the object of the gauntlet is Gary Oscarson's up there behind the wheel. He's going to take off when the green goes. We got 8 laps to do this deal. There's 2 gentlemen in the back here. What they have are cantaloupes and tomatoes. They're going to be throwing those at the rest of the guys trying to take out the red bus. The short bus has to be taken out. They'll try and flip him. They'll hit him in the left rear. They'll hit him in the right rear. They'll try and turn this thing over. If they can, they will win. If they cannot turn Gary Oscarson over or make him stop this race, then Oscarson takes home the win. That's the gauntlet. Let's get to it.
All right, let's get this thing started right here. There'll be plenty of cars trying to turn that red bus around and stop Oscarson, but he has always proven to be very, very difficult. Although I will say, I've never seen cantaloupes inside of the red bus before.
Now we've seen a couple of folks in the bus before, but I don't ever recall cantaloupes either. However, I will say this: Oscarson's probably very rested up. He got plenty of time to take a break earlier when he hit the fence before the first lap was completed.
All right, right off the bat, we've got one of the killer bees. I always call those little cars all around them kind of like the killer bees. They just swarm around that thing and try to take it out one sting at a time. They're already working on him.
Some of the drivers tried to take out the gauntlet. Jim Rosenberg, Brian Beebe. Whoa, he's
nice
got a
move.
move going on there.
You know,
saved it.
It seems like the first lap or two he always gets away with clean, and then all of a sudden they get it figured out.
How about our guys throwing the stuff out? A couple of them can't get through the windows. Corey Skolaski, Keith the Slag, and Chester Ace. Oh, here comes the 17. Oh, good job. They got him spun there.
That's how you get it done. That's the same. Oh, and look at Oscarson, man.
There he goes.
Sweet.
He's famous for sticking that thing in reverse if he has to, and he's one of the best at it, no doubt. Good job. Now, come on, throw me something out.
You can hear one of those cars on the chip down there.
Look at all them cantaloupe.
That's the same man that just won, or nearly won the train race.
Oh, man.
With Beebe behind the wheel.
They are definitely using up some engine. Look at that D-Walt machine.
Look out. Man, look at him. He is rolling,
He is rolling, and just like in the past, you got to say, man, that Gauntlet bus must be hopped up a little bit, because to be able to just leave these guys behind like he has. Oh, now he's just playing with them as Gary Oscarson.
I cannot believe that thing does not flip over.
We've seen it a couple of times in the past, man. This is great stuff.
Throws it in reverse again. Oh, we got one over, but it's not the Gauntlet. The end of the race. Let's go down to Rob.
Well, guys, you can see with all the mayhem here on the front straightaway, Oscarson here on the tractor tire on the front. The checker flag has waved. They're giving the win to the red bus, and Gary Oscarson, after climbing a wheel, jumping over the barrier in turn 2 in the train race, takes home the win. Here's the winning team, Gary Oscar, and hey, the train race, talk about that. Pretty exciting for you. You turned it around and picked up the win here. You were doing some stunt driving, going backwards there, bro.
Well, you got to do what you can to keep going. Anything to keep going, you know.
How much fun was it out there? I mean, you had these guys behind you, Ryan, and they were throwing some stuff and hooking you up, and you were beating and banging with these guys, man. It looked like a lot of fun.
That's a good time. There's some big iron out there tonight. It's just too bad we got a gas leak. Had to shut her down.
Had to shut her down, but comes home with the win. Gary Oscarson takes the win in the Gauntlet after a big night in the trains. The whole team celebrates here in Victory Lane, guys.
From cars with dented bumpers to cars dragging the back bumper. Come on back for wheel stands.
Welcome to Lucas Oil on the Edge. This week coming to you from Muncie, Indiana for some incredible wheel stand competition. You OTE fans might remember Jason Schubert and his spectacular cutlass demonstration a couple years ago, rolling over 8 or 9 times in this very same competition. He's back tonight with most of the same car, and you're going to see it all on the Edge now.
All right, they're building some heat in those huge rear tires as they get ready to do multiple wheel stands. It is a wheel stand competition presented by General Tire here at MUNCIE DRAGWay. We'll see some of the best wheel standers in the country. But with more on today's event, let's send it down to Angela.
Welcome to Lucas Oil on the Edge. We're at the MUNCIE DRAGWay in Muncie, Indiana, and this is the first time this drag strip has seen anything like this. We're going to get those 2 wheels up and drag some bumpers. They're going to be judged on height, speed, best in show, and most violent. So let's check out some racing action.
All right, wheel stand competition, round number 1. Typically 2 rounds of competition here for everybody. As we take a look at the ladder here, they untie the front end. We hear that terminology, Brian. What are they talking about?
Yeah, a lot of times they'll untie the front end, loosen it up. What they'll do, as we take a look at some of the competitors here, they'll take the front end and they'll undo the travel limiters, and they'll give it all the spring that is necessary to get that thing up. Another thing they've been known to do is put a little bit of nitrous oxide on these cars and a little extra weight sometimes in the trunk, a weight bar too. Nothing going on right there for that 69 Camaro of Wayne Ivey.
Yeah, small tire car right there, and it looks like he just blew the tires off of it. Looks like another small tire car here.
Ted Garvin's machine is a 2000 Chevrolet Camaro out of the Moser Engineering Stables, and this is one of those late model technology machines, and tuned by a laptop, by the way.
That's the thing, almost looks like a stalker. Did rear back. I mean, probably an excellent drag race car.
I can tell you, you're exactly right. It does look like a stock Eliminator car, but here's one of the real McCoys. Here's Robert Gale's Camaro, and he'll be taking on Jason Schubert. Now that Camaro, that True Grit car, goes back to modified in the late 60s and early 70s.
Yeah! That's what we're talking about. There's plenty of tire underneath that one. Sound like he sidestepped the clutch, and away we went.
Watch this baby in replay.
Woo!
All the way up on the back bumper. How about that curved hood scoop, man? Oh, man, I love it. Gives me goosebumps. Here's the guy that's the king, known to be the king of the wheel stand competition. One of the guys that's clearly, great wheel stand.
And that is the guy that Lugnuts was talking about earlier that flipped that thing 7, 8, 9 times. This time, nice and straight, lifted the rear tires off the ground.
Jason Schubert's car does a real good job right there. He actually rotates the rear tires while he's up on the wheelie bars.
The big dogs are still yet to come. The wheel stands will get bigger.
We're halfway through the first round. The first couple of guys, they had a little trouble getting their nose up in the air, but the second guys, man, they were looking sharp. Let's see if there's any more action that's going to impress the judges.
All right, we'll continue on here. Looks like we've got a trunk car coming out here. Jason Carr against that awesome-looking Z28 Camaro. Sweet-looking second-generation car.
Yeah, one of the prettiest cars you'll ever put your eyes on for Gerald. But Jason Carr is a seasoned veteran. Gerald is new to the wheel standing sport. And again, we're pairing him up here. Oh, great job!
That's what we're talking about right there. Violent, across the center line, front end up in the air, back bumper planted. Take a look at that, baby.
Oh,
Change
man.
some oil into that thing.
Oh, from the inside in-car camera.
Woo!
Oh, he's
Ugly.
feathering that throttle right there. Oh, man, cross lanes and everything. How about that? Here comes Gerald. Oh, look at the shot from underneath the race car. And he, too, will cross lane.
Oh, yeah, and he had a nice little pedal job, too, right when that thing rotated up to keep it from rocking back too far. I mean, he nailed it perfect. No daylight underneath the back of that one.
Watch that, baby, from all different angles. Look at that Camaro. I mean, this baby is gorgeous. It's hard to watch them put him on the bumper like that, man.
That is sweet, man. All right, Larry Gauntlet coming up next, and he'll line up alongside A.J. Fiorelli.
They're laddered by way of competition, but in honor of safety here, we're not running side by side. Good old Ford Falcon wagon, Comet wagon, whatever the case might be for Larry, and he's a little bit soft there.
Well, there's not many of those left around, is there?
No, not at all. In fact, that was the old panel sedan delivery right there. All right, A.J. Fiorelli. Midnight Obsession, they call the machine. Now, I'll tell you, this car usually is all over the back bumper, but not here so far tonight.
The best four are coming back for round two. Stay with us. On the Edge is brought to you by Lucas Oil Products, made in America, sold to the world. General Tire, unleash the fury. And by Madison International Speedway, Wisconsin's fastest half mile. We're back here. This is the semifinals for the wheel stand competition, and yes, the Camaro did squeeze in, but we'll have some very tough competition here to win this one today.
Schubert and Garvin, Carr and Gauntlet will match up here in the semifinals. And that's a situation. They look like they are pairs. They are matched up only by way of laddered competition. Here's Ted Garvin and that Moser Engineering 2000 Chevrolet Camaro.
Oh, yeah, that's it. There's the spray, baby. I don't know if he had nitrous there or not, but he certainly didn't do that in the first round.
He got something dragging on the back. Watch it.
This thing just started up kind of slow, and then all of a sudden about midway, bam, man, it's like he found another 500 horsepower.
It must have hit the spray. Not sure exactly what happened, but in any case, that thing definitely was dragging the bumper, comes close to the wall, and Ted Garvin gets out of the Moser Engineering machine.
Man, that was a hard hit on the back and on the front. Jason Schubert coming up next, and Schubert is always a car that is in it, man. You can never count this guy out. And it looks like the car's going pretty straight. That's a pretty difficult thing to do.
Yeah, it really is when you know, in the case where you have no wheelie bars, for all intents and purposes.
Woo!
Oh, he's all over the place.
Man, oh man, don't worry. He owns a body shop, so he fixed it once, so he can fix it again.
Yeah, the last time he fixed it a lot more than what he'll have to here. But Jason all over the place. Thing goes violently to the right, unloads the tires, and boom, right there into the guard wall. Wow. Tough break for Jason. I tell you what, that was always and always is an early pick for the championship.
Larry Gauntlet, we'll see if he does a better job here in the semifinals. Oh, much better job.
Yeah, he's better right there, no question about it. A score of 15 overall. Now the judges are scoring this baby on the sideline. And right now you got to think that Jason Carr, now in the heads-up competition, Carr took out Gerald. Whoa!
Woo-hoo-hoo! That's got to be right there, one of the longest wheel stands I've ever seen on this show. I mean, listen to it, man. He just feathers that throttle perfectly. An excellent job. Great control here.
Unbelievable. Watch the groove and watch the car stay in the center until he finally lifts. This will be great. Watch that right leg. Oh, what a ride, baby. I love it.
That is awesome. He's even working the shifter in there, man. All right, so the finals get us down to Schubert and Carr, two great wheel stand vehicles here.
And I don't have any clue how you are going to beat Jason Carr, unless, of course, we mentioned it before, Jason Schubert's been doing this for a long, long time and has provided us with a number of thrills throughout his wheel standing competition seasons. Oh!
It's the old 1-2 shot. You know, he always gets most violent because he does do some violent wheel stands.
He does. He's on the bumper, unloads the tires, back up in the air. You got to try to control your horsepower here. And you know, they've got all these cars about as light as they can get them. And Jason being a body man by trade, I'm going to tell you, that car is so detailed, it can win Detroit, Alabama. It is that nice. You almost hate to see it doing wheel stands.
Jason Carr, here we go. Final round.
So far, Carr with the longest, most violent, all of it together. He's doing it again.
Man, just three spectacular wheel stands out of that one.
And had a perfect
bumper,
score.
Man. That back bumper is wore out.
It is shot. Carr had a perfect score of 30 on his previous run. No other car has had a score of 30. Picks up a 27 here. The judges will compile the score again in Carr. Great shot.
Jason, congratulations. You are the Lucas Oil on the Edge winner today. Tell me how your day went and what happened.
We left out of LaPorte at 5:30 this morning, come down here with intentions to do good, not with any intention to even make it past first round with all the heavy hitters that they had come out today. And the stars were lined up, you know, somebody was looking down on me, what have you. Car went out, rips the front end off the ground and just starts running with it. I'm doing the best I can to drive the car and keep it straight down the track.
Well, you looked in control, everything looked great, and I'm sure we were going to see more of you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It has been an action-packed show. We know you enjoyed it. Make sure you go to newwavetv.com to find out where the Terry's RV and OTE gang are headed to next. For all the pit reporters and Brian Olson, I'm Ken Stout. We'll see you next time. Remember, you're not living unless you're on the edge.